If your idea of a baby boom is just a viral TikTok trend, you're in for a surprise. The term baby boom actually comes from a real, historical event. After World War II, millions of Americans returned home, settled down, and started families. The result? A massive surge in births that shaped everything from the suburbs to the school system. But today, the story is very different. Instead of a boom, we're facing a bust. A dramatic decline in the number of babies being born. And while it might sound like just another statistic, this shift is quietly reshaping the future of America in ways that affect every single one of us, whether we realize it or not. America's having fewer babies than ever. Walk by a playground in your neighborhood, and you might notice more empty swings than kids. Hospitals that once bustled with newborns now have quiet nurseries. And schools in some towns are closing classrooms because there simply aren't enough students to fill the seats. This isn't just a blip, it's a trend that's been building for decades, and it's accelerating. And yes, this matters to you even if you don't want kids. Maybe you're focused on your career, or you love the freedom of not having a family. That's totally valid. But here's the thing. The number of babies being born today will shape the world you live in tomorrow. It affects the economy, the job market, the way cities are designed, and even the kind of healthcare you'll get as you age. Fewer kids now means a very different America in the years ahead. So, here's the scoop. The average American woman now has just 1.6 kids. That's a number, but it's also a story about changing priorities, economic pressures, and shifting cultural norms. In the 1950s, families with 3, 4, or even 5 kids were common. Today, many parents stop at 1 or 2, and more people are choosing not to have children at all. This isn't just about personal choice, it's about the world we've built and the challenges people face when they think about starting a family. That's way below the 2. 1 needed to keep the population steady. Demographers call this the replacement rate, the average number of children each woman needs to have for the population to stay the same, not grow or shrink. When we fall below that number, it means that over time there will be fewer young people to replace the older generations. This isn't just a theoretical problem. It's a real-world issue with big consequences. Translation? We're not even replacing ourselves. Imagine a relay race where fewer and fewer runners show up each year. Eventually, there's no one left to pass the baton. That's what's happening with America's population. Each generation is getting smaller, and that has ripple effects across society. Fewer babies now means fewer workers, taxpayers, nurses, and even less support for programs like Social Security down the road. Think about it. Every baby born today is a future worker, a future innovator, a future taxpayer. When there are fewer of them, it puts more pressure on the people who are working to support those who are retired. Social Security, Medicare, and other programs depend on a steady stream of young workers to pay into the system. If that stream dries up, the whole system starts to wobble. Picture a giant game of Jenga. Remove too many blocks and the whole thing starts wobbling. That's what happens when there aren't enough young people to support the old. The economy gets shakier, businesses struggle to find workers, and communities lose the energy and creativity that young people bring. It's not just about numbers, it's about the balance that keeps society strong. So, why is this happening? The reasons are complicated, but let's break it down. Childcare costs as much as college, housing is a joke, work-life balance is, well, not balanced, and climate worries are real. For many young adults, the idea of having kids feels overwhelming, if not impossible. The cost of raising a child in America has skyrocketed, with everything from diapers to daycare eating up a huge chunk of family budgets. Housing prices have soared, making it tough for young families to find a place to live. And jobs? Sure, there are more flexible options than ever, but many people still struggle to find work that pays enough and offers the kind of stability families need. Add to that the anxiety about the future, climate change, political instability, and the sense that the world is just a little less certain than it used to be. For some, the idea of bringing a child into this world feels like a risk they're not sure they want to take. And for others, it's simply a matter of priorities. Travel, career, personal growth, and relationships are taking center stage while parenthood moves further down the list. It's not that people hate babies, the system just isn't family-friendly anymore. In fact, surveys show that most Americans still say they want kids, but the gap between what people want and what they feel they can actually do is growing. The support systems that once made it easier to raise a family, affordable childcare, stable jobs, strong communities, have eroded over time. Now, parents are left to juggle it all, often without much help. In some places, families are getting creative. Grandparents are stepping in to help with childcare, communities are organizing support groups, and some businesses are trying to be more family-friendly. But these solutions are patchwork at best, and they don't reach everyone. The reality is, raising kids in America has become a high-stakes, high-cost endeavor, and not everyone is willing or able to take that leap. But hey, other countries are trying wild ideas. Paid leave in Sweden, cash bonuses in France, and even robot babysitters in Japan. Around the world, governments are experimenting with ways to make family life easier. In Sweden, parents get generous paid leave and affordable childcare, making it easier to balance work and family. France offers cash bonuses to families with more kids, and Japan, facing its own baby bust, has turned to technology, with robots helping out in daycares. These policies aren't perfect, but they show that it's possible to make a difference when society decides to invest in families. So, what could America do? The answer isn't simple, but it starts with recognizing that the baby bust isn't just a family issue, it's a national challenge. Lawmakers, business leaders, and communities all have a role to play. We could look at what's working in other countries and adapt those ideas to fit our own culture. We could invest in policies that make it easier for people to have kids if they want them, and support those who choose not to. Better childcare, paid leave, affordable housing, you name it. Imagine a world where parents don't have to choose between their job and their family, where housing is affordable, and where communities rally around young families. It's not just about making life easier for parents, it's about building a stronger, more resilient society for everyone. And let's not forget, a healthy birth rate isn't just about numbers, it's about the kind of country we want to be. Do we want a society that's vibrant, innovative, and full of opportunity? Or one that's shrinking, aging, and struggling to keep up? The choices we make today will shape the America of tomorrow. The birth rate may be dropping, but your say in the solution is just heating up. Whether you're a parent, a student, a worker, or a retiree, you have a stake in this conversation. The policies we choose, the communities we build, and the values we uphold will determine what kind of future we create. So what would you change? Drop your ideas in the comments. Would you support more paid leave, better childcare, or new ways to make housing affordable? Or do you have a totally different vision for how America should respond to the baby bust? This is a conversation that affects all of us, and your voice matters. Let's talk about what kind of future we want to build, together.